Well, hello friends. Today we're going to work on windowing stuff, and it's going to be about how we want applications to shut down after you close their last window. So that's something that currently doesn't happen, and Lawrence brought it up on IRC that if you are here in the Hello World demo app and you close it like this, then the program doesn't actually exit, stays open, and this is because the event loop is still running. And normally what we do to make an event loop quit whenever we close a window, we have this thing called, where are you now? So this is in G window, and then there's should exit event loop on close. And this is very hackish, right? So we have to set this on any window. You can set this on any window, and then closing that window will cause the event loop to exit. So that's like what apps normally do, is that in the text editor I've set this, so if I close this, then we exit back to the shell. Now this is obviously like kind of rickety, or it's not the best solution, let's say. So I figured we should instead have something like that the event loop will quit when there are no more windows visible, basically. And maybe it should be a mode, but I think even as a default, it definitely makes sense. So let's implement that. Let's see how we would do that. So let's look in the Hello World app first. So in order to make this behave like the other apps, the fix would just be like set should exit event loop on close, true, and then the problem would go away. But we want to do something better. So every one of these GUI applications in Serenity, they have a G application object, and that's where the event loop, event processing stuff is instantiated and driven. Once you call down here, then you enter into the event loop, and then everything happens inside there. So we want to have, I guess in the G application, we could have a setting that's something like set should exit or all windows closed. What do we want to do in all windows closed? I'm not sure. Okay, let's just make it the default. So I guess the interesting thing then instead becomes like the fact that we have to know if we have any windows left or not. So this is G window, which is the GUI window class. Does it have any statics? Yes, it does. It has from window ID. So we have a global, sort of global map of all the windows. So we can definitely figure out if there are any visible windows. Now, one thing is that you can technically have a G window object that is non-visible, and that means that it doesn't have like a representation on the Windows server side, which means that like there will be nothing showing up on your screen, right? But the G window object still exists. It's just that it doesn't have like a physical representation or whatever. So I think for the purposes of this thing that we're doing right now, we care about if there are any G window objects at all. So like if you have a window still instantiated but it's hidden, then we probably don't want to exit the event loop, because maybe you're going to show that window at some point. So in order to actually exit, we are going to want to force the programmer to make sure all the G windows are deleted, and that would exit the event loop. Okay. I was just saying it out loud so that I could hear if it makes sense, which I hope it did. So let's see. Let's make a helper for this. So call it something like G window, or maybe even an int. Maybe like window count, global window count, something like that. Call it like not visible, no. Window count. I guess window count is fine. And then we'll just return windows size, like that. And then we will declare this as a static window count. Cool. And then what we want to do is whenever we are like subtracting from the window count, so effectively like removing a window, which I guess we do down here in. Oh, interesting. Actually, so this is like visible windows actually. So it's the windows that have a corresponding Windows Server object, because as you can see here, it's removed from the Windows map in the gwindow hide, but that doesn't mean that the gwindow object goes away. So we should call this something else. So we'll call it like reified, or like reified. I guess reified is pretty good. But I'm gonna dictionary that just to make sure that I'm not. Wait, where the hell am I? Hello, stargazers. What? Oh, these are crappy suggestions. Can I get more dictionaries? All right. No, reify. Make something abstract more concrete or real. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Why is this thing coming up? Hello, everybody. Thanks for starring Serenity. All right, well, we'll call it reified windows. So then that would just be reified windows, right? And then this guy is going to be all windows. And it can just be a hash table. Gwindow. And I don't actually know why it's implemented this way, so we'll just do it this way. Or we can even do table. Like that, I guess. Why don't we simplify this since we're renaming it anyway? Tap. There used to be a time when you were not able to use statically constructed objects or like static globals like this, even in user space code. You still can't do it in the kernel because I haven't implemented support for that, but in user space it's fine now. I had to implement it when I was porting GCC because it was this whole thing where they have these allocator objects that are statically initialized like this, and if you don't support static initialization, it looks like things are working until you hit this really weird bugs. Anyways, okay, so now we have this, and then we want to, in gwindow, we just want to remove it from all windows. So we'll say all windows, remove this. And in gwindow here, we'll say all windows add, or no, set to this, right? Right. Right, so then we can get the window count. And technically we could do this with the simple counter, but using a hash table I find is comfortable. So what else do we want to do now? Now I suppose when we are deleting the window here, so if the all windows map becomes empty, maybe we can tell the application object that the last window has been removed. So if all windows is empty, gapplication, gapp. Oh, these look stupid. Let's just give him a little hand here. Oops. Editing is hard. All right. Gapp application the dot. So I did delete last window, something like that. And we can pass a badge so that we know that we are gwindow. Okay, and then did delete last window, badge gwindow, and class gwindow, and let's do that. Okay, and then let's implement this. So the application object gets notified now when the very last window goes away. Then we can do something like m-event-loop.quit. But we should only do it if we're good with the setting. I guess I'll quit with the exit code 0, that's fine. But we're gonna want a setting. So what do we call this? Something like quit when last window deleted. True. Or should it be about closed? Like closed? I'm gonna say deleted for now, and maybe maybe we'll want to do something differently with that later. But right now, let's do deleted. Quit. Right, and then void set quit when last window deleted. All right. Let me move you to the side so I can see what I'm doing, or rather to see what the compiler is doing. Undefined reference to did delete last window. I didn't save. Well, okay, so if m quit in the last window deleted, then we quit. That's pretty simple. And then actually we can set should exit event loop close. I think we can essentially get rid of these, but let's see how it behaves. Because we know that the Hello World app is it's going to do what we want for testing. So zip, and it exits nice and clean. Okay, so I think that's good. So let's get rid of all of this stuff. Wonder if there's probably a way to delete all these lines, but I don't actually know. Maybe we should look into that. Git creator, delete all lines matching. Shift backspace, shift delete. Yeah, but that's not exactly the thing that I wanted. Find, what is that? Global replace. That's not key creator. Find a place. So can we So you gotta experiment with these things. So let's say like everything from the start of the line that contains this, everything to the end of the line. And then we'll search and replace that with frickin' nothing. And let's see how that turned out. Ugh, it puts an empty line like that. Okay, well that's not exactly what I wanted. But now I have to go and press my Clang format, auto format button in all of these guys to get rid of that silly new line. But it is what it is. And my phone is buzzing, but not right now. And text editor main. And visual builder main. Oh man, this is so stupid. Why am I even caring about this? All right. So do we have any greenies? Yeah, we do. One right here. Process manager main. Wait. And then what else did we have? Fire CPP. Double buffering. Well. Oh shit. Well, whatever. Okay. That's enough of caring about that. Let's just stop it. Okay. So that's a big and ugly diff. Why did I do this? Because I just wanted to check on these things first. I should have committed before I did this. So let's add this, add that, and G window CPP, and G window H. And then these guys should only be about the old way of doing it, right? So diff cached. So we patch review. So G application did delete last window is called when we're in the destructor of the last remaining G window. And then if quit when last window deleted is set, then we will tell our event loop to quit. Cool. And then in G application, we were putting these in alphabetical order because reasons. And then here's that little setting or property or whatever, and our callback for the deletion. And here is the member for that, and just fixing up the headers here, whatever, don't mind me. And then I fixed up these so that they are just variables instead of these lazy helper functions, just because it's a bit easier. And oh yeah, and we renamed it to reified windows instead of windows. And then we have the window count, but I don't even need the window count. So let me take that back because I don't need the window count. Git add. Cached. Can we do like a dash stat? Does that work? Yeah. So what exactly did I change in gwindow.h at this point? Now I'm just kind of curious. Oh, it's still there? Should exit event loop on close. And I deleted that. Well, I don't want to do that yet. So that would have been a mistake. Add diff stat. Okay, so no changes to gwindow.h. That's more like it. Right, so I think these are sensible changes. We just need to also add gwindow.cpp because we didn't want that window count thingy. All right, so here in the constructor, we add it to all windows, and the destructor will remove it. And then when we're done destructing, then if the all windows is empty, then we will call G application, tell him like, hey dude, I just deleted the last window. feel free to react. Cool. Okay, I think that's good. So let's commit this and we'll say libgui. Exit the main event loop when the last window is deleted by default. Oh, we don't have to say that, but this behavior is the new opt-out default. If you don't want your app to exit when the last G window is destroyed, call G application set quit. What the hell is it called? Destroyed. All this. Also renamed Windows to reified Windows and G Windows CP to reflect. It only contains Windows, G Windows that have a server-side representation. Boom. All right. Now we can do the getting rid of the old way of doing things. So G window should exit event loop on close. We are just gonna get rid of you because that was such a hackish way of doing things. And then, oh yeah, this is the only place that it was used anymore. So that was just in G window close. We would look for that setting and possibly exit the event loop. And then diff should exit app on close. Okay, so in this patch we are just removing all of these calls and we will make everything and check that it works. But I think this will do away with this minor little gotcha that basically everyone ran into who tried to write GUI programs for Serenity. Because normally, like, if you don't do anything, then your program would not exit, even though you close the window and there's like no remaining objects. It would just sit there and do nothing. So it was very counterintuitive and clearly not the right design. So I'm happy that we are fixing that. All right, so let's do hello world and we quit it and cool. And we do oops, text editor and we quit it and cool. And we do the piano and we quit it and it exits nicely. Actually, we didn't know if it exited nicely or not because we didn't see it on the terminal. Yeah, there we go. All right, and maybe just for good measure, we do process manager as well. And there we go. All right, so I think we're cool. Let's say that that worked. So libgui. Get rid of G window. Should exit event loop on close. This was this behavior and API was extremely counterintuitive since you had since our default behavior was for applications to never exit after you close all their windows. Now that we have G application, we exit the event loop by default when the very last G window is deleted. We don't have to worry about this. Cool. Let's push that and take it for one more quick spin. But basically, I think that that's going to be it for today's video. So, like I always say, if you made it this far, then I thank you for watching. And I will see you, it's a little laggy, next time. Bye.